recording.
Everyone but Helia, mute up. So, as we left off before, it is starting to slow down. For one reason or another, all the chaos, all the hardships, all the trouble and trial and tribulation has slowed down. Barbie let you stay with her for a little while before she had to resume her duties and bring everyone back into the castle. And she didn't want you to feel forced to act a certain way or think a certain way just because she's a queen and you are her guests. No matter how many times she would reiterate it, some of you still have the anxiety of a chronically ill person. And after a short time, maybe a day or two, you all are basically portaled home by a goddess. It's not the jarring situation of teleportation, the way that she had brought the rest of you, to her abode, but it is simply a portal, almost a portal of light. And for most of you, that was a pleasant experience. For those aligned with darkness, I can't say the same. But the days pass, and I want to ask first, before we get into anything, despite this scene being up first, we'll start with Helia. How does Helia react to the first day of nothing going wrong? Calm and quiet and serene.
Well, I mean, she's back at the academy, so it's just like, same shit as always, I guess.
And I want to ask in order, because I know one of you is going to have a snarky response. Arthur.
Yeah.
How is Arthur reacting to the first day of nothing going wrong?
I think for the first day. I guess without Lex having to worry about him, at least to a lot lesser extent, I guess. Can maybe relax a little, but still aware of things.
So you are starting to relax. You're not relaxed yet, but you are finding that it's a lot easier to breathe. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Aster. How's Aster react?
Aster reacts to it the same way he reacts to most things. Opens his jacket and has Zippy give a second set of eyes to make sure he's seeing things right. But, no, for real, he'll just sort of... He won't look a gift day in the mouth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He'll take the day. Work on papers that are probably past due from the academy and read up on whatever they had sent us.
So you're just taking a moment to be the college student that you otherwise couldn't have been before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lance.
Yeah.
How is Lance reacting to the first calm day that he's had in months now?
Cautious. Like, again, as Aster said, won't won't look a gift day in now. But I mean, I guess take the time to catch up on schoolwork, catch up on a few streams, let people know that, things are going well.
Do you say anything accidentally that would alarm your following? Or do you watch your words?
Watch for it.
Alright. Tsubasa.
Tsubasa would be probably would be a little bit anxious, but after a little bit he would more or less do what Aster did and focus on his studies, catch up on classwork and whatnot. Maybe take a bit of time to read just a book and not actually do research.
Alright. And let's go back to Helia. Helia, you have been nervous for a couple months now because the information you had requested from your teacher, specifically your ranger teacher, she kept saying she couldn't tell you over the phone and you couldn't find a moment to go back to the academy. Or rather, you couldn't convince your fellow teammates to go back at the time that you wanted to. So it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Until you finally returned to the academy. And that first day, you seemed to all take to yourselves. You take a moment to breathe, to relax, as the paranoia of it's too quiet becomes the serenity of it's quiet. And a couple of days into your stay at the academy again, you get a text from a number that you recognize, but for some reason isn't in your phone. And you know it's your ranger teacher. She's probably contacting you through at least her work phone rather than her personal phone. Do you look at it?
Yeah.
There's an emoji, like one of the sticker emojis from the game, that literally looks like a thumbs up with an exclamation point, but it's of Mickey. Like the default, like, you got it emoji.
Okay.
And there's a second text that follows pretty quickly. It says, "I've got what you want. Come meet me in the teacher's backyard." And you know that there's a pretty big teacher's lounge, because it's such a large academy. It's basically a world in of itself.
Yeah.
So there's not just one teacher's backyard, quote unquote, but there is a meeting place that's outside that is still a part of the teacher's lounge. And after a moment of trying to wrestle with a very unhappy and slightly larger marigold, just the whining of a dream eater.
Energy of why are you moving? I was comfortable.
Yeah, very baby energy.
Just a little guy.
And eventually does just hop onto your shoulder and just hangs out there. Because you've now given this bat separation anxiety.
Whoops.
And you head to the given coordinates of, it's still in your sector, but it's kind of on the outskirts. Kind of in the same location of where all the evergreen trees in this sector start to fade off into what isn't affected by the everlasting, like, seasonal magic.
Yeah.
And it just starts to go into a more pinkish white tree set line. And as you walk into the like forest of pinkish white petals of flowers and leaves of trees, and some are full dead and others are still fully leaved, you don't really hear anything at first, aside from the rustling of wind and leaves and petals and grass. And eventually you come upon a clearing without any incident, which startles you for a moment. Because you're so used to walking by yourself and someone or something showing up or going wrong, and it's only a few days in, and you have to shake your head and just, man, this could have gone so much worse. And you step out into the clearing, and you do see Mrs. Syra kind of half turned away from you, looking down at some documents. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Gonna just take a few steps further in and clear her throat like, hello, I'm here.
And she looks up, smiles. Hey, sugar. You good? I heard about what happened. And she starts to take a step forward towards you.
I think as good as I'm gonna be given everything else.
And she steps forward again, getting closer to you. And from this distance, you know she can pick apart any detail she wants, but she's looking you dead in the eyes. Now, is that the truth? Or are you just saying that to get by?
Pause and
I-
shrug.
Because I may not be your caretaker. I've met your caretaker. And there's this sort of tone of, "Ugh." And while I'm not them, I still care about each and every one of my students.
I know, ma'am.
Good, don't forget that. And she kind of cocks a crooked smile.
Wouldn't dream of it.
After all, I'm the one who kicked off some groups of Heartless off of this campus. Everyone else was too pussyfooting around to do it.
Still arguably the coolest thing that happened when I was in my first year.
And she sighs and gestures for you to come closer.
Skittering.
So, you wanted me to see if I could get some documents for you, yeah?
Yeah.
About Valkyr?
Yep.
It took me a damn long while, but I got some of them. I got where he might have gone, if he is still around. Because it's been a very long time, kiddo. I don't know. He's a very anxious kid.
He's not dead.
You seem confident in that fact.
Yeah, I told you guys I saw him last year and
With no proof. And she kind of smiles of like, you know how I am.
I can't prove I saw him, but I did.
I know. I just can't report that to any law enforcement without proof.
Probably not gonna find any, but
Regardless, if you are looking for proof to bring him home, this might be well within your wheelhouse. And she hands over the documents. Now, I did have to jump through some hoops to let a student that isn't affiliated with his family see this. And, Helia, this is the first time you're at least hearing of him having family outside of you and Ankh.
yeah, there's definitely a tenseness and a small wince.
Did I say something wrong, Chuck?
He told me he was an orphan.
Technically not wrong. He's an orphan by choice, not by death. Do you... And she sighs again, struggling seemingly to find the words. Do you know what happens when a non-Keyblader becomes a Keyblader?
Loosely, we've covered it in some of the classes.
Well, when a native of a world without a Keyblade becomes a wielder of a Keyblade and leaves off-world, they are forgotten. They are essentially no longer existing on that world. Your friend, Valkyr, he chose to become a Keyblade wielder. Or at least chose the potential to become a Keyblade wielder over staying home with his family. As a result, yes, in a manner of speaking, he is an orphan. So he did not lie. It's just that his family isn't dead. And she kind of scratches the back of her neck in that manner of like, how do I say this? And she
He might not
pauses
have
for a moment.
outright lied, but he never ever talked about them.
Kinda hard to talk about someone when you can't introduce them. I know I would love to introduce people to my parents, but I went through the same thing. But as it stands, and she reaches out, taps the front of the documents that you're holding, and kind of smiles. This is your best bet. Do you try and read them?
Yeah.
The first page is basically a cover page. It says his name, his age, or last known age, per se. And it states the classes he was taking, who was his caretaker at the time, which you read a name you don't recognize. It's an odd name to you. Do you skip past it or try and decipher it?
Try and decipher it because, you know, it's a name.
Make me a intelligence check.
$14.
You realize, kind of in a delayed manner, mostly because you were far too young to ever connect the dots, but you saw this name on a couple of documents your auntie used to sign, and then one day just stopped signing them, and thus you stopped seeing the name. And the name is very specifically. I'm gonna type it out before I say it, so it doesn't sound like gibberish.
Probably a good idea.
It says Anathasios.
Isn't that a mouthful?
This is mostly for sillies, because this start is less silly than I intended. Make another intelligence check.
19!
This one clicks a little faster. Oh, this is another joke from Auntie. This name literally translates pretty directly to immortal being. It is less a name than it is a word. It's basically your auntie saying, "Over my dead body."
Tracks!
And Syra just gives you a look of confusion when you probably do outwardly snort.
Yeah.
Is there something funny?
Auntie likes to be funny with the names they pick.
Right. I should have guessed as much. She sighs again, I don't like dealing with your auntie. I'm gonna be upfront with you.
Why?
They make everything difficult, sweetheart. And
Confused head tilt.
And yes, I do know that cat of yours is your auntie. I'm aware of shape-changing magic. And shape-changes in general, but nonetheless.
Nobody stopped them yet, so...
I can't! Nobody believes me. They've outright spoken in my class, and nobody believes me. I think they're doing it on purpose now.
Probably at this point, yeah.
She kind of lets out a nasally sigh this time instead of through her mouth, and it's more annoyed sounding. Look at the third page.
Helia will turn to look at the third page.
It's a bunch of like legal jargon at first, but then you read kind of halfway through place of origin, and it says Kingdom of Corona. And then it says relatives, and it's not as if you can't read the words or the names. It's more along the lines of every time you look away from the document, you can't remember them. You can't remember the names you just saw.
Confused expression.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. This is what happens when a Keyblade wielder goes back to their home. It kind of messes with documents outside. So this might be the one proof you're looking for to bring him home. And it's all I can offer you.
How does this help?
It means you know where to look.
I already knew about the kingdom. That's where we grew up.
She shakes her head. No, that ain't what I mean, kid. I mean, you know where to look. And she reaches over and points at a different portion of the paragraphs. And it says, region of birth, outskirts of main kingdom.
Okay, but I still don't know who I'm looking for.
Are you looking for him or proof to bring him home? That's the question.
I don't know. I just know
Then you
this is where he went after whatever happened to him happened, and I don't know.
Well, then you should talk to your team. Figure that out. At some point. Focus on your schoolwork a little bit. Cool off. And get back to it. Alright?
Out.
Do not pout at me. I did this much for you. And while you're at it, when you pass by Xeno, give him at least a hug. He's the one who made it possible.
He did?
Yeah. He might be the town gossip, but gossip gets you everywhere. People talk a lot. Especially tired gods that believe they're being relieved of duty. And she kind of smiles. It ain't stealing if it never leaves the school.
I suppose so.
Unless you'd not like to have the documents?
I mean, is there anything else in them that would help?
Obviously, yes. I mean, come on now, kiddo. It's about 5 pages. Gotta be something.
Just gotta stay on school grounds, right?
Yep.
Alright.
Do you leave? Or do you do anything else?
I can't think of anything else, so.
There's a sentence you haven't said to your barely legally acting teacher in front of you.
Is it thank you?
It might be.
Yeah, before Helia turns to, leave and go back to probably the norms. There's just a little nod towards Sarah and thank you for this. Yes.
Of course. Just don't get in trouble with it.
I don't ever intend to get into trouble. It just happens.
If you say so. And you're free to leave.
Skittering energy. Like, not actual skittering, but skittering energy.
All right. Between Lance and Tsubasa, who wants to go next?
To be fair, I think my scene might take a much shorter amount of time. If Lance is going to be doing the grid thing again. Or again. You know what? Whatever.
It depends. Or do you guys want to talk that out?
Well, I guess the biggest question is, Nia, do you want to go first? Or would you rather go second? Alright, I'll go first then.
All right. So, Tsubasa, how do you go about doing what you want?
Well, is this on a different day from when Helia goes and sees the ranger teacher? Just for context.
I'd say it's within the same few days of you getting back, if not the same week.
Okay. Yeah, no, Tsubasa does. Sorry, Ash. Tsubasa does spend a bit of time catching up to schoolwork, doing all that fun stuff, before he eventually just decides to go find the paladin teacher. It was one of those moments of he has a thought, he must carry through with the thought.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. That's an 8. Stop making me roll my shittiest things.
No.
Every time!
You have to roll more than perception in your entire life.
I'm not asking for perception, I'm asking for anything that's not the +3!
But it takes you not a full day, but kind of closer to the end of the school day to figure out where the main paladin teacher of your sector is.
Okay.
She's going to be. You kind of realize that she's probably been off the clock for about 3 hours now. And
Okay.
she's the one who makes the roster decisions on who gets into her class and the teacher's aide class as well. Because she is notorious for being a bit strict. And you kind of walk down the main street, lining the in-between areas that aren't part of sectors but are more residential. Because this is a world. It's not just the academy. It's mostly the academy. It's not all the academy. And you walk up to a cafe that looks sort of empty. Like, there's people inside, but you don't immediately see paladin teacher right out the gate.
Unfortunate.
Like, there's more people in here than this, but it's like
that's
kind
his
of dead.
That's his old token. I
I
changed
pulled
it.
from the thing.
That's his token. It's not there anymore. Can
Is
I
it
delete?
that bothersome?
Is there something wrong with it?
I'm just confused, I guess, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But what do you do standing outside of the kind of half-empty, half-full cafe that looks to be quietly chattering from out here?
Well, he's going to go inside first and foremost. He's not because there's obviously not anybody outside at the tables, yeah?
No.
Yeah. So he goes ahead and goes inside to take a look around and see if he can spot the paladin teacher. Does he know what the paladin teacher looks like, though? That's the question.
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, god damn it, not again! Oh, shit.
Yeah, you've more than just seen her around. You spoke to her once or twice while you were getting signed up for classes in the previous months and even year before you were supposed to be slated to come to the academy. And she was kind of strict back then, but in that sense of, you know how Gordon Ramsay is with kids versus adults?
Yeah.
She was like Gordon Ramsay towards kids, towards you at first, because to her you were a kid. And as you got older and started showing signs of, sass and independence and not cleanliness to your mother and father, she got a little stricter. Not in a horrible sense. It was just, oh, you are now acting like you are in college as a frat boy. I'm going to treat you like one. And you do remember what she looked like. She has kind of tanned beige skin, kind of orange brown eyes, and long red hair she always keeps back.
Okay.
And you do see her with your passive perception, kind of in the back, talking to someone. So she's more dramatic in her talking than the other person, who seems to just be listening, from what you can gather.
Oh no, he has to interrupt someone. That's his worst nightmare. Anyways.
What does he do?
He does admittedly hesitate a little bit when he realizes that she's actively talking to someone. But he's already there. He might as well. So he starts making his way to the back of the cafe to go greet her.
As you get closer, you do overhear through the chatter and din of the rest of the cafe her voice, and she seems eccentric at the best way I can describe it. And she just, this would be a lot easier if you would just spar with me again, man. You were one of the best. One of my best students, and here you are, just being a librarian. Come on. And you just see the shake of this person's head across from her. And just, I'm not falling for this trap again. I appreciate it, Yuna, but I'm not a fighter anymore. Not after the Magic Kingdom. And that's all you kind of hear approaching, as this man stops talking and looks over her shoulder at you. And she just whips around. Hiya!
Hey.
Aren't you Dr. Kyrie's kid?
I mean, yeah, I'm in their class, but, that's actually what I wanted to... That's why I came to see you. Probably not.
No. Sit. And she pats next to her as she leans back. She turns back to face this person and leans forward to pick up a kind of a bottle, an opaque bottle.
Yeah, Tsubasa does move around to just He's not sure where else to sit. He definitely does not know whoever that is across the table. Because I'm assuming if he did, you would have mentioned something about it.
It's one of those things of you kind of recognize this person, but in a passing sense of probably the head librarian made note of a physical trait here and there.
Yeah.
But you don't really know a name.
So he sits down and just... like,
Bigger man.
Yuna can see where when he's now sitting next to her that he is fidgeting with his fingers. But after a moment, he takes a deep breath and he looks directly at Yuna. It's just, I want to switch my warlock classes out for paladin.
And like on the way to take like a drink of whatever's in her bottle, it pauses right before she takes the swig. Takes it from her lips, sets it down again, looks at you very seriously. Like this is no longer a teacher off duty, a teacher off work, and no longer thinking about lesson plans, to suddenly a very, very strict professor.
Just say, this is the expression I'm familiar with.
And she overlooks you for a moment. Just almost gauging something. Sure you can handle it? And she kind of smirks.
He nods and goes, I'm sure. I want to do this.
And she looks over at this person with like green-blue hair, kind of a seafoam green hair color. And like deep, deep black eyes. And just, you hear that, Mara? I got another one. And she bounds up to like her feet, picks up for her drink, and goes, "Come on, kid, we're gonna go train ya." And just starts walking out.
Tsubasa does stand up to follow her. It's just like, wait, you mean right now?
And this person stands up, sighs, and yeah, you got her excited. She loves stealing students. She stole me from Cleric.
And character laugh, by the way. Just the startled giggling of...
Laugh all you want. You're gonna be dealing with bruises every day.
Oh, boy.
I'm not that harsh. Usually. Half the time. Sometimes.
Oh, boy.
And just leaves over. And goes over to the counter, downs the rest of the drink, whatever was in it, slams it on the counter and goes, "I'll pay when I come back," and then rushes out. And then you just hear a shout from behind the counter, from kind of behind you and to the left. God, that woman.
Tsubasa, not wanting to get caught, standing right where she was, dark dodges. Fucking dark dodges the rest of the way out the cafe.
And you hear the door open at first as Maro, M-A-R-O, kind of opens the door at first, turns around, goes, "I'll catch up with you. I'm gonna go pay the tab again." And turns and heads back inside. And you both kind of head off to the Paladin training grounds, or rather just all of the training grounds for most of the places. Like, it's just called the arena. And she's chattering this entire time. Just ecstatic to steal someone from the warlock classes after all these, quote-unquote, all these years. And it's hard to keep up with her stride, as she is not shimmer dodging. She is just fast.
So
You
Tsubasa's
almost
doing
have
the
to shimmer. You almost have to like dark step to keep up with her a couple of times.
Tsubasa after one bit is just like, can you slow down a little bit?
Nope, you got to keep up. This is speed training. Come on.
Tsubasa doing like the fucking half jog behind her trying to keep up.
But I will say, this is kind of a short scene, but we can go to the arena if you'd like, or if we can keep it to a different scene.
I'm good either way.
All
I
right.
already know because Lance is going to the grid this session, yeah?
Mhm.
Tsubasa's going with him, so it's not like I'm going to be shunted to the back again.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, we can keep this as a separate scene. We can keep it as a whatever. I don't care.
Alrighty.
We already know what's going to happen to Tsubasa. Lance is going to see him the next day. Is just like, what happened to you? Don't ask. Sorry.
Arthur and Aster.
Hi.
I want you to describe something for me.
Hi. What's up?
I want you to describe something for me.
Oh dear. Putting my food to the side.
How do each of you fall asleep?
Alone in bed. No.
Yeah, you got friend zoned for a minute there, didn't you?
I did
Minute.
exactly what I wanted to do.
That's your lonely ass. I'm in a pile right now. Famously, Aster does not have a bed, and if he does, he never uses it. He will sleep on the ground, cuddled up by several heartless, and now a six-legged horse.
So
he's-
you're comfortable in a pile with your heartless and your summon and just comfortable.
Yeah.
Arthur,
Yes.
how do you fall asleep?
I think he falls to sleep as he always does, which is by thinking of I was thinking of like the self studies he's doing. Yet no.
So hold on, I need to fight Cherry real quick.
No, hold on.
Hear you, whore. These aren't noise canceling. Anyway. Regardless. So, Arthur, you fall asleep in the middle of essentially work. Like you are laying down, you are comfortable, but your mind is still working, going pretty much at a fast pace. You fall asleep, both of you, before you can realize you're asleep. And for a second, you realize you're not dreaming. There's no dream or nightmare or even a night terror. There's no memory, there's no recollection, there is emptiness. There is void until you feel your feet touch solid ground, or at least solid something. And it's hard to explain the feeling that happens. It's about a week into your relaxation, going back to the academy, going to basically relax, just be yourself and be a kid at college. And you realize kind of quickly that something's off as you realize individually, at whatever pace you deem fit, that you're both in the same quote unquote room together.
I feel like Aster kind of has that mentality of, where the fuck is it? Arthur? God,
Huh?
it's not this stream again, is it?
What could that mean?
What? Oh shit, it's actually you. Ignore that.
Oh, brother.
He did answer. Hmm.
How does. Do you look around at all?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
currently you are facing outwards into a void. There's kind of a light grayish area underneath your feet, but you don't really see anything else aside from void. So
Is
you
this
look
the-
around?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do each of you look first?
Well, are we directly from each other, or are we side by side, or?
You're beside each other.
Okay, so I guess Arthur would look to his left.
Aster's looking up and like down, like, what the fuck? There's another set of feet. Oh shit. Just stares at Arthur.
You look to the left, Arthur, and you see an extension of this almost platform. You can tell by the very faint wind, or something like wind, around you that you're kind of high up. And you realize there's circles on the ground. Empty circles. And the outer edges are black and marred with gray. Almost burned.
Are we dreaming? Is something he says out loud.
I don't know.
Because that's the last thing I remember was in my bed. This wouldn't be. This is different.
Is this like a shared? Hold on. If we're both because I was in my pile getting ready for bed. If we're both asleep, okay, so we're not diving. That's different than this.
It also doesn't feel like that time we got memories from a previous loop. And it doesn't
Yeah.
remind me of that one time I went to a different parallel world.
That's all, y'all. I don't think I was there yet.
I was by myself.
You know.
Can I slap him?
Do you want to?
Yeah. He's like, smack.
Sure.
That hurt?
I don't know. Does this hurt? And he punches him.
Dodge.
In you, Arthur, with that secondary hit, you kind of see something out of the corner of your eye that looks kind of strange. It looks like you.
It catches his attention, and slowly walks up to it.
Hey, where you going?
Look,
The fuck?
And this, as you get closer, both of you kind of taking your steps forward, you see these two figures, one made of pure darkness, pure, like it's almost void like the blackness around you does nothing for what the deep and an unending pitch black of this figure at the front. And the other one is taller, but almost made of pure light. It is hard to look at this individual, this being, as the taller one, made of pure light, tugs at the other's hand and pulls them both back away from you.
what? Who are they?
Fuck?
Aster,
Yes.
the one made of pure light, vaguely looks like you.
Oh dear. And he's gonna peek over to the one that looks like darkness.
Vaguely looks like Arthur.
Hey, Arthur.
Yeah.
Grit your teeth. I don't like where this is about to go.
Well, let's not be hasty. We don't have too much information to go on.
They look like us. Things that
Yeah.
look like us don't normally do good things, remember?
One hand from the well, it's hard to call it a hand. It's more like the outline of pointed claws reach out from the light-based one and just almost accusatorily points at you and starts to blink almost. Like the light keeps fading in and out, as if saying something.
Oh, when Aster said about things looking at us never act well, he's like, I think that's just your experience, Aster.
The sharp head turned to stare. If it ain't good for me, what the fuck do you think is gonna be good for you?
Mm-hmm.
Arthur, are you paying attention to the two entities?
Yeah.
You see them as Aster starts to bicker with you. You see them look at each other as if in confirmation almost. And the one of pure darkness almost furrows its brow and looks worried, concerned, and afraid almost. And then the one of light takes a step forward in front of the one of darkness, almost defensively. You did notice with your passive perception that the darkness-based one also seemed to wane in and out of pure darkness to something a little lighter, as if communicating somehow.
That's curious. They seem to be communicating somehow, in some way.
He'll turn back to look at them. I can find it out pretty quickly.
How?
There's more flashing from the from the light-based one. Almost make an insight check, both of you.
$32.
8.
Arthur, this is honest to God just a confusing experience for you right now. You're probably just dealing with sleep paralysis demons again.
Yeah, maybe.
Aster, you... At first it's hard to pick up because you're kind of panicked. Of like, this can't be real, this isn't... We have to be asleep, so we have to... Maybe it's just a hard enough hit or something, and you almost clench your fist. But then you realize, as you're looking at this light-based being that looks vaguely like you, its eyes are sharp and serious and stoic. Like, they seem like yours, but serious, protective, demanding, almost standing its ground. Not in a hostile way, but as if defending. And you notice, kind of late at this point, at the tail end of some of the blinks, that it is actually an alphabet, the one you don't think you quite know. But you do read almost like Morse code. Like, it feels like Morse code, but you've never learned it.
Is it abyssal, common, or infernal?
No.
Yeah, none.
You do hear an odd tone of abyssal from behind this entity, though. Just, you can't understand the words for some reason, as if it's muddled through plastic and tar and all sorts of things. But you swear you hear Arthur's voice. Deliberately saying, "Can we trust them?" And something is said in response in a language you do not know.
That's just gonna mumble something to himself.
Can Arthur roll to perceive?
Yes, you may. He says, he mumbles, inverted. They're inverted.
Like a mirror? Out loud?
No. A mirror would be still like who we are. Think photo negative.
Okay.
Like an antithesis. Aster's gonna walk up to them.
Both of them take a partial step back. The one in front kind of doing so as if to put some leverage on the back foot. But the other one is almost fully hiding behind the one of light. Almost like a shadow.
They seem wary or scared of us.
No. The shadow one is scared, but not the light one. The light one seems on edge. I got an idea. Stay here. And he's gonna walk about over here. Keeping his eyes on the light one.
Arthur, from this distance, you can hear, almost similarly to the muddled, wrong abyssal, the dialect you don't quite understand but can catch glimpses of, you hear light speak. Celestial, almost, but wrong. And it says, "No, I don't think we can."
I don't. Whoop.
While still keeping an eye on Aster without looking at you.
They don't seem to trust us. It's the vibe I'm getting.
To be fair, would you trust us?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of my whole thing.
Well, you're a fool. That's your whole thing.
Hasn't gotten me in too big of trouble.
Eyes immediately off the light in the dark, staring at Arthur with the, "Oh, honey, you're the only one with a blindfold on."
Arthur, you hear something again. That same muddled through tar and plastic sensation in your ears. And you just hear, "They can't be us. They can't be." And Aster, from a distance, that same muddled and distant tar-like sensation of hearing the words, but the dialect's wrong. You hear from the Darkness One in Abyssal, "They look like us, though."
He responds in Abyssal. "We might be you. Take a chance." And he holds out his hand.
Just the immediate flinch away. It almost seems afraid. Like flinching away from light. Arthur,
Yeah.
you hear another sentence, but it's harder to hear this time. You almost have to strain your ears to hear it. The light one says, almost with a sigh, "If they are us, they're our dark direction. After all, I'd never treat you like..."
Damn.
And there's sort of an abyssal response, but it's more of a weak laugh. Of, "Yeah, I can't imagine you would."
I wonder how this happened.
Probably some time fuck shenanigans.
Is it? I don't. This doesn't feel like that.
Well, I don't know. You guys sort of just picked me up, and it hasn't been a fucking letdown since yesterday.
Yeah. Hmm. I. How do.
Yeah?
Can I use any of my light?
Do you try?
Yes.
What do you do, specifically?
guess he just kind of wants to do like a little small thing of light in the tip of his finger.
You summon just this small mote of light that burns a little bigger than usual. And instead of getting dimmer, that darkness entity seems to get darker in response. And then flinches away, kind of hiding. Oh, seemed to be entranced for a moment, almost stepping towards you, and then flinches away with like concern and worry in his eyes.
What if he were to do the same thing but with the darkness he has?
Do you try?
Yes.
Before you can infuse that darkness with the light, this entity darts forward and you see kind of tendrils of darkness in a way you've only heard about drift off of it as it gets in front of you, like in your face, and grabs your hand. And it says something you don't understand. But Aster, you hear, don't, please. That's how we lost him.
Aster is the minute there's a lunge, he lunges back. He lunges as well, with a dark dodge sort of mentality of like, hey.
And this light being gets in your face. Just full steps in front.
All right, let's
And-
chill. Aster, did you hear what he said?
Aster is currently staring down the light one. Oh, don't. That's how we lost him.
Yep.
Could you ask who? Please?
You get a response before Aster does. There's another quick series of not words. This Aster, you don't understand this. Arthur, as a royal, you have learned Morse code. This it says LEX.
Of course.
And for a moment the hand that grabbed yours, instead of being cold, unfeeling darkness, it is warm, almost gentle, as the hand pulls away and the entity steps back, almost shyly. Of just the kind of thing of someone realizing they overstepped and just backing away with their head down.
It's fine. No harm, no foul. Does anyone want to play a game?
The light being finally relents, turns to face you, and it says in Morse code, "Why?" with a question mark.
I mean, why not? I don't really see how whatever situation we are in to get out currently. We're kind of on a platform, so why not pass the time?
those two look at each other and then back at both of you, seemingly separately. The darkness one at you, Arthur, and then the light one at you, Aster. And they just gesture to almost look around.
Aster raises a foot, brings it down as hard as he can on the ground.
You feel glass. It's hard glass, reinforced glass, but it makes the sound of stomping on glass.
Arthur, back up.
What are you doing?
Glass, design, lining, point of view from where I can see. Back up.
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. I'm getting distance. This is what designs. This is what a person's heart is designed after.
Okay.
Do you read a book? The History of Diving, Chapter 4. The designs of individuals' hearts alter between individuals but remain as one thing. A stained glass column with no bottom, simply a top. There are circles and points where only those who the heart belongs to in the smaller circle. That motherfucker's blank. This is glass. We're in a heart. Or somewhere. I don't know.
I mean, the design's kind of a swirl that meets there.
Sort of? Hence the backing up. Not trusting that.
Okay.
You get a look from your like the one that looks like you, the darkness form, Arthur, and it just looks at you kind of pathetically of like, are you guys fighting kind of look?
Yes? Well, we're not in agreement.
I don't like
Morse
him.
code again. It asks why.
Little bitch. No. We had. God, how do you fucking describe this? Do you want to explain everything? After?
Almost childlike, in a manner that, as Arthur, you kind of have to squint at for a moment. Of this looks like you when your mother used to tell stories. The way that you would sit kind of crookedly, but still cross-legged, with your hands in your lap and innocently waiting. Meanwhile, right next to it, there's a hesitant motion of, hold on, almost with a hand up slightly, and staring at both of you.
Carrying this conversation. Okay, so we were in trouble. I was put under a state of calm. I made a bad decision.
The darkness entity kind of tilts its head. Not in confusion, but listening.
Aster pipes up. He betrayed me. Betrayed my trust.
Both of
Recently.
you hear, almost both of them speak at once, which is how you can both understand. You hear kind of layered over each other. How did that happen? Almost teasing.
How did it happen, Arthur?
I wasn't good enough.
That's not it.
You hear it echoed back to you. Not good enough. Almost echolalia style. From the darkness form.
Couldn't do anything for them.
Couldn't do anything for them.
I just walked past while they died slowly. Were dying slowly.
Not good enough. And the eyebrows almost seem to furrow. As if sad. Pained almost. And Arthur, you hear in that light speak. Shut the fuck up. You're going to get him on his kick again. We just got out of there. Come on.
I mean, what do you want me to do? I couldn't do anything.
Those serious, sharp eyes, the gaze of somebody who is not mad but disappointed, looks at you, Arthur, and goes, in that same light speak, are you an idiot?
I've been told.
No. Stop it. If you really are our reflections, then buckle the fuck up. Not everyone's going to agree with you, and it gets louder. Not everyone's going to like what you do, not everyone's going to understand. You do what you have to survive. And there's that darkness entity raises up a hand to hold one of the light entities. And there's a sort of calm that comes over the light being.
I've honestly been trying to do that. Make my own way. endless possibilities, taking the good and the bad.
Arthur, you watch as the darkness entity stands up, dust themselves off almost as if dusting off some clothes that had gotten dirty, and steps up to you. And kind of doesn't get in your face this time, but offers out a hand.
He'll take it.
Aster, you hear very softly from the darkness form, "He is us. Well, he is me, at least. Confident, but scared. Whereas I'm scared but confident. Go talk to yours. I think mine needs a hug." There's a grumble as the light being kind of shuffles its way over to kind of meet halfway and cross its arms over its chest.
What's wrong, pretty boy? Don't like me?
Arthur, you hear in almost crystal clear tone, as if everything had like flushed out of your system somehow. You hear very, very clearly. You flirt your way out of every situation you possibly can, and you don't dare talk to anybody. No wonder people don't trust you. But hey, I can say what I want, and you won't understand a damn thing. Because you don't dare look at the light the same way you do the darkness.
I may not know what you're saying, but I can recognize when someone's talking bullshit to me. So lose the bass in your voice. Or, my bad, the bass in your flicker.
There's an eye roll. And then turns back to the darkness being, who looks kind of calm now, less scared. Are you sure they're us? They keep fighting. We have to help them. After all, that's what best friends are for, right? Just, fine. And kind of walks up to you, finally. And it's at this point that both of you notice that around their necks, there's one half of a best friend necklace. Make a perception check, both of you. Both of you notice that, no, this isn't one half. This is 1/3. There's only 2 of them here. Aster, make an insight check for me.
$19.
You have seen this sort of attitude before. It is the same attitude your father used to give everyone else when they brought up a bad topic, usually about his wife. This is the same attitude of someone who has lost again and again and again and is angry about it. You don't know what this being is saying, but you know that it is angry, and not just towards you.
He'll lean into it. Do something. Make yourself feel better.
Arthur, you hear a giggle from the darkness form. And Aster, you hear from that darkness form a distance away. All you can hear is, "Didn't I say that once to you?" And then just the "shut up." Almost flustered. And then just turns back to face you, Aster. And raises at first quickly a fist and rears it back. Do you flinch at all?
His eyes don't leave the light-based ones. Doesn't flinch, just keeps staring.
It pauses. Arthur, you hear, "Yeah, that's me, all right." And instead of hitting you, rests a hand on your shoulder in that manner of, "You're a good kid." And walks away. Just that sort of like, "Yeah, whatever. You're fine." And for a second, both of you kind of blink. Your eyelids are heavy, weighted almost. And you feel yourself almost falling asleep again.
He
What do you
fights
do?
it.
You fight it?
I fight it.
He's okay with falling asleep.
Arthur, you blink longer and longer as you see this darkness entity kind of step closer to you, still partially holding your hand, and pulls you in kind of close. And you can hear it this time, though it's distant and muddled and muffled and almost like speaking through thick layers of glass. But you do hear it. Take your time. He's still with you after all. And you fall asleep. Or rather, you wake up. Aster,
Yeah.
roll Constitution.
Okay. Check or save?
Save.
$17.
You don't resist falling asleep, or rather waking up. What does happen is that it takes you longer. And you see these two, one of them seeming to envelop Arthur, the darkness one, and they both disappear. And then you see this light-based one turn to look at you, kind of grin, and go, "Oh, I'm not leaving." In that same, through thick layers of glass and muddle and tar. Just, "I'm not leaving." And you blink a little too long and you wake up.
He'll mumble as he's blinking. Fucking knew it.
And What is the first thing both of you do when you wake up? Because if time wise, it is about 4:35 in the morning for when you do this.
Leaves.
Uh, probably just
You're
fucking
in the places where you fell asleep.
probably fucking wakes up. It's like fucking what the fuck's up with my dreams and gets up, go for a walk maybe.
I said it before. Aster leaves.
All right. Is there
He'll.
anything you guys would like to do?
Uh, we're not on Barbie's World anymore. Yeah,
No.
back at the academy or
Yeah.
the kingdom.
The academy.
He's gonna go bother a certain individual.
Which one?
Very much.
There's many of them.
Uh, he's gonna go bother Cayde.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Damn it, man. What does Arthur do?
I think he just goes on a walk on his own in the night.
Knocking on this door. I know you're awake. You don't sleep like a normal person.
You don't hear anything at first, Aster.
All right.
And then you, after like a couple more knocks, you just hear the kind of snort of someone waking up abruptly. That kind of like, I passed out at my desk, kind of abrupt. And just not a scrambling, but very much skittering energy to the door. And just, what, God, don't fucking scare me like that. What do you want?
Angry.
He kind of looks back behind him towards the clock on the wall. Goes, it's 5 in the morning. Do you want to
Angry.
spar?
Yes.
Okay. Just the defeated, might as well start my day early kind of defeatedness. And he goes, 1 second, closes the door, and you don't hear anything for about 2 minutes before he opens it up again and starts to head out, now pulling on his jacket because it is starting to get into the winter months. And you go out to spar with Vice Headmaster Cayde.
While they're sparring, Aster will straight up ask, "Has Auntie ever betrayed you?
Yes,
How'd you take it?
multiple times. I smacked her, and she hit me back. So that
Anything
didn't
else?"
feel good. So no, well, he seems to be talking in between trading kind of tired blows with you. So you actually do manage to hit him once or twice before he starts waking up. And he just stops for a moment, rests his keyblade on the ground. I was angry for a bit, but you don't turn your back on friends, much less on family.
What if they turn their back on you? They still family?
Can you clarify?
I don't like not being told.
whenever I do something stupid. I prefer to know so I can fix it in the future.
Right. That's a good way to think about life, yeah.
I have
And
a
he picks up
party.
his keyblade and twirls it a little bit.
Aster kind of stands there holding Garden of the Void, and he just goes, "Of the party I'm with, only 3 people have not done that. Now it's 2. Arthur pulled me
Okay.
away from a dumb decision, but he didn't tell me why. Wouldn't give me anything. It hurt.
Have you tried talking to him? That
Can't.
Arthur kid, and he clicks his tongue for a moment, almost thinking about the right words to use. He doesn't make choices without believing in them first, even if it gets him hurt. Him and his friend both. They're both morons, but they're morons together. As sweet as that sounds, they're gonna die one day. Like, that's not, I'm not, this isn't a joke. They're gonna die one day.
Already happened.
What? The genuine concern of a vice headmaster.
We die. Long story. Tell you later.
No, that's not good for the psyche. I would know from experience. And he
It's
desummons his keyblade and just gestures for you to come with him and sit under the, sakura blossom trees.
I want to forgive him. I can't. I don't know why. I just can't.
And as you're talking, you see kind of his gaze drift towards kind of beside you.
What?
Have you
He'll
had
look.
any weird dreams recently?
Aster will not answer and look beside him, where Cayde is looking.
You see two glowing golden orange eyes where your eyes were staring you down.
He's
And that's
staring
your
right
move.
back. I love when we improv into very fit scenes.
So who wants to go next?
Isn't Nia the only other one who has something?
Oh yes, that's right. We get to do this all over again. Nia grabs you.
You,
At least
yeah.
I get to play something other than the depression song, so
Yeah, you get to play Benny Hill is what you get to play.
Benny
play
Hills while I'm a part of the Benny Hills. Because remember, Tsubasa agreed to go with Lance.
Yeah.
What's up?
And you're going to the grid, correct?
Yep.
Cool, you have a Razz with you.
Yay.
Tsubasa, the soul brain cell.
We
So
don't
tell
need
me what
brain
you're
cells where
doing.
we're going.
So tell me what you're doing in the grid.
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't think I would get this far.
Oh my God.
Great.
I can actually see that happening in the grid. Lance, Razz, and Tsubasa arrive in the grid, and now Tsubasa's just like, so now what are we gonna do?
I didn't. I didn't think this would actually work. I didn't think I would actually be able to get back here.
And just for a good solid minute, Tsubasa's just staring at you, Lance. And then he just slowly pinches the bridge of his nose, just like, alright, okay. What was the original plan? Training, right?
Yes, training.
Then I guess we find some enemies, or you just wave your arm around a little bit. That got their attention last time.
I
Do
don't
not
think
actually...
I don't think that would be a good idea. I do not wish to attract all of the attention at once. He says while just lifting his arms up and making hand gestures.
Tsubasa's fucking scrambling, just like immediately Dark dodges next to him, scrambling to put the arm down. It's just like, I did not mean you actually wave your arm around.
And then Razz just goes, no, hold on, wait, no, he's got a point. Let him cook.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Are we sure? Like, he is facing,
Yes.
he faces Razz at first, and then he faces Lance, just like, are we sure? No. Let's at least try to do this safely, and just, there's gotta be something around here that we can fight.
I am nothing if not safe.
I believe that more from Miss Yuna than you right now.
That's fair. That's...
Like, and he just puts a hand on Lance's shoulder, just like, Lance, you're my friend. You can be... And then he just stops. Because even if he's not as anxious anymore, he still has the manners sensibility, and it's just like,
No, say it. Don't be a coward. Say it with your chest.
Alright, fine. You can be a real idiot sometimes.
Thank you, but also ouch.
You said say it with my chest. I said it with my chest. Look, I'll just make sure... I've been working on my cure spells. I can at least make sure none of us die, okay?
As you're saying that, Razz just goes, guys, not to alarm you, but holy shit. And points behind you both.
Tsubasa, as he's turning around, he's just like, you do realize that alone is alarming.
Like a good holy shit, right?
Oh.
Wow.
You
Hi?
see this massive, like 15-foot tall, well, 15-foot long and like 10 feet tall entity. It almost looks snake or draconic kind of entity with like black scales and partial fur and wings and antlers. It looks like chimeric almost.
Maybe it's friendly?
Can we help you?
It opens its mouth and you see 2 rows of sharp teeth.
Say anything?
It screeches at you.
I don't think it's friendly.
Well, we don't...
And it reaches out to take a bite out of Lance.
Tsubasa goes to shove Lance out of the way.
Lance, one arm facing towards the dragon chimera thing, one hand towards Tsubasa. Just, we don't know that for... Oh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Tsubasa's shoving him out of the way. He doesn't have much strength, but he still has a +3. He can do it.
You cut out a little bit.
I said he doesn't have much strength, but he has a +3. He can shove.
So you do shove Lance out of the way enough to where the first bite does miss. And you hear the grinding of not ivory and bone, but metal and sharpness. Whatever this thing is, it is not normal.
Fucking Spider-Man points at Lance. Just, this was your idea.
Does the
Spider-Man
22
points,
hit
right?
you, Lance?
What do you think?
Hold on. I've got to have something.
I can take it. Don't worry.
Wait, I have shield. Is it something? No, it's self. Fuck.
Damage. Just hit me with the damage.
Can I have him cast protection from from evil and good when he was pushing Lance, since it's a touch spell?
Sure.
Okay. Well, at least it's only 3 points.
Oh no, that's not the damage.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
That's the disadvantage, or no?
No. See, protection from evil and good works on evil and good, not neutral entities.
Oh
Unfortunate.
no.
Look, he's tried. He doesn't know what they're facing against, and shield only works on him.
Mm-hmm. Lance, you drop to 1 hit point
Easy.
as this bite chomps down on your upper arm and shoulder, and it almost takes a part of your neck as well, as it's almost like an anime moment of the blood splatter, and it tries to pick you up on
Wait,
1
which
HP.
which arm is this?
This is the arm with the cyclical pattern.
So with dark mark.
Yes.
Oh god, my left arm. Oh no.
It is trying to pick you up. Do you try to resist?
Can Tsubasa assist with that?
I feel like the shock of being dropped all the way down to 1 hit point has got him like just frozen in place. Not frozen in place. Well, yes, frozen in place, but like
He's not reacting.
yeah. Doesn't know how to react.
Tsubasa's already if I'm able to, Tsubasa's going to throw something at it to try to get it to drop him.
What do you throw?
His Keyblade. Guiding
Throw the
flame.
brain cell.
Guiding flame specifically.
So, in conjunction with you throwing your Keyblade, Razz just goes, fuck, and just casts daylight on your weapon.
Razz just like, shit!
What does daylight do?
It's not friendly to anything dark.
Oh no. Hope that doesn't hit me.
So what do I need to
Yeah.
roll?
Roll a d20 plus your attack bonus.
Okay, so 22. Ignore
It's
the
not that
shit.
it's not that it doesn't hit. It's that it hits and it seems to only aggravate it.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Lance, you get shaken like a ragdoll.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining now fucking Pickle shaking whatever poor monster it dealt with. But yeah, no, this isn't too good. Not good at all.
Can I summon my Keyblade inside of its mouth?
You can try.
I will try.
You are currently about 15-20 feet off the ground. Do you still want to do this?
Yes.
Tsubasa can attempt to catch.
For this purpose, no, you cannot.
Unfortunate.
Oh no.
You summon your Keyblade and force its mouth open, and it reels in not pain but sort of annoyance as all of the lights in the vicinity seem to dim and flicker and some of the bulbs break and burn out from the shriek of this creature. And you're dropped 20 feet. And you, even Tsubasa trying to stop it from happening, you hit the ground kind of hard. And you drop to 0.
Mm.
Tsubasa, as well as Razz, you both see stillness for a second from Lance. You see no movement, no breathing, nothing. And then, almost like a shroud, like a veil almost, you see light cover his body. You see light, and some tendrils of grayish black start to swarm and cover, like knitting a blanket back together. And then Lance, or rather Lance with a question mark, stands back up. Lance,
Yes.
you only see enemies.
Mm.
This is unfortunate for whoever is the closest to Lance right now. Mm-hmm. I
Also,
no
I will
longer.
say that I feel like the one that he summoned was specifically the one that he stole, the
Mm-hmm.
claymore.
Yeah.
So that's this is fine.
Yeah, no.
This can only end well.
Yeah, no. Tsubasa's watching Lance very intently right now, and just after a moment, he does just like, Lance, are you okay?
Lance, you look in this direction of the sound. It's not words to you. There's only blood and almost your own heartbeat pounding in your ears. And you can only hear, or rather feel, the desire to not die.
You're going to have to do something.
It's going to toss the keyblade. Like throw. Try to throw it.
At what?
Hey Sue, what's your AC?
16.
I just have to roll very poorly on this. Fine.
It's fine. He can take it.
Can he?
Oh. Hey, would you look at that? Tsubasa manages to not get fucking nailed in the face. Just that happens, and Tsubasa's just like, huh? Okay, wait. Lance, that's not normally the right reaction?
And Raz, do you see out of the corner of your eyes, Sue, just the instant freeze of panic before reaching out and casting fog cloud centered in the middle of you three? You and Lance and the chimeric creature. and goes, "Run!"
Yeah, there's not much he can do because I'm assuming Lance is far enough that Tsubasa can't just make a grab at him, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just fucking bolts over to Razz, looks back at the fog clouds, just. Do you know what that was about?
And she like fidgets back and forth, taking a couple of steps back at first. She seems to recognize something and goes, "Shit. Fuck. One of us has to go over there and touch him to heal him. Otherwise, he is dead."
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Do you want to do it or shall I? Because I can be fast. I can be fast.
I'm pretty sure I'm faster than you. Plus, I've got.
Then fucking do it.
Okay, yeah, no, Tsubasa just takes a deep breath like he's about to dive into water and bolts back into the fog clouds to find Lance and to grab onto him.
Lance,
Yeah.
all you can think about is survival. And there is currently, within the span of like 12 seconds, one less enemy and then one more enemy.
And one of those enemies is going to directly grab onto him.
Another swing with the keyblade at whatever is trying to grab him.
Oof. Ouch. Roll damage, I guess.
Bonk.
Ouch! That is actually a fairly sizable amount of damage. Not enough to really bother him much, but okay, that's 12, so there we go. But yeah, no, Tsubasa doesn't back off this time, though. He still goes to grab for Lance.
Both of you make dex saving throws.
Saving throw specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta. Well.
Lance, you're a little too slow, and you can't help but want to snarl and bite back. But you grab onto.
As soon as he grabs on, he casts Cura.
Lance,
Mm-hmm.
this feeling of aggravation and determination to survive, this instinct to lash out and take anything down with you as you fall, fades. And you feel your knees give out as the other two watch these tendrils of inky blackness mixed with mostly light curl away back into his shadow and rest there, almost alive now. But there is still a shrieking entity trying to get a false keyblade out of its mouth.
Hey, Razz, we should all probably run, yeah?
Yep, yeah, let's go. Yeah, get him.
Yeah, Tsubasa, of course, helping Lance, just half drags Lance along as he bolts back to Raz, just like, alright, let's go, let's get out, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Go, let's go, let's go.
We're going, we're gone!
And Lance, you pass out the moment you get out of the grid. That weight of weightlessness having lifted and gravity crashing down on you again. And
Ugh.
Sue and Razz are carrying fucking dead weight at this point.
Tsubasa only has a +3 in his strength.
It's fine.
They're struggling. Because it feels
And
like Razz doesn't have much higher strength than Sue.
I can check.
I mean, you don't gotta. It's just funny to imagine them struggling. But yeah, no, Tsubasa would suggest taking Lance to the medical bay infirmary wherever the academy would take the injured and passed out friend.
And she helps you, though it's more you carrying Lance, because Raz only apparently has a 12.
Razz is providing emotional support.
Yeah, she's wiser than she is stronger. I will not call Raz wise beyond her years. She is a chaos gremlin.
I do imagine Tsubasa's probably getting treated for the very solid smack he got from Lance, too.
Mm-hmm. So you're all in the infirmary, which I don't have a map for yet, but I will. And you all kind of don't hear any news for about a day. And Lance is completely out that day. But by the end of the week for all of you, Lance wakes up again, and the both of you are told to keep an eye on him as his heartbeat flatlined for a brief second.
It's fine.
Hey, on the bright side, at least I'll remember.
Which, by the way, I'm going to bring up the new dorm map so you guys can try to interact with each other. As we're going to now do it like a 6-month time skip of like nothing fucking happens. You guys are just at your dorms. You're just relaxing. It's nothing. Nothing happens. You guys had a good testing season. You guys had a good spring break. You got a couple of postcards from a place you don't recognize, and it has an odd handwriting on it, sort of half print, half cursive, and it is just signed with L.
Ah, gee, I wonder who that could be.
It is mostly addressed to Arthur, but all of you get at least one.
Yay. Does this mean I can go back to the chill, somewhat upbeat music?
Yes,
Because
and beware, this is a big map.
I had not planned for Aster to go find Cayde, or I mean, I should have expected it to plan like that, go like that. I knew what was going to happen. Ren told me what was going to happen.
It's
And yet,
fine.
yeah, no, it's fine. Tsubasa is probably 6 months later still being just like, I told you it was a bad idea. And what did we do? We went anyways.
You did not tell me it was a bad idea to go. In my defense, you just said not to wave my arm around.
I told you before we went.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Place
Lance.
yourself somewhere on the map. It doesn't have to be in a room. It just has to be somewhere where you know you are. And since you're talking to Lance, you should probably be in his room.
Yeah, I should be. Tsubasa just sitting on the other corner of the bed. Or, yeah.
Who's this?
Sitting in chair.
Here.
Just like, I told you before we left, it was a bad idea. We probably shouldn't go to the grid with how it went the first time we went last year. Or, well, shit.
About a couple years now.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I'm assuming at this point Tsubasa's a third year.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like, well, I mean, considering how I was still a first year, yeah, it's been a couple.
But hey,
Still.
nobody died.
And Lance, you're just getting the hardest stare from Tsubasa.
I know technically speaking, I might have, but we didn't die.
There's no technically. Lance, you threw the keyblade at my face.
Did I?
Yes. Why do you think I? Quick question: would the infirmary have healed him or just patched him up?
Healed him.
Healed him. Just like you did. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I was also in the infirmary when you woke up. Well, I mean, I wasn't in there that long because of the injury. But not the point.
Let's kind of hands together. Anyway, some people have been asking me to try out command board. You wanna help me with that?
You know what? Sure, it's been pretty fun helping you with streams like that. This is for a stream, yeah?
Naturally.
Of course.
Oh, though it might be fun. Well, I would have to figure out how to play first. Trial by fire or actually read the rules.
You know what? Trial by fire. I want to see this.
Hell yeah. How bad could this go?
Just watch. It's going to go absolutely horribly, and I'm going to laugh.
Bad it be.
The fucking game
So-
pulls up, and they're both just like, ooh.
So are you going casual play or tournament?
Tournament. Straight into tournament.
What's your player character?
What are the choices?
Historical figures.
Tsubasa here putting it awkward. It's just like, you should play her.
Immediately jumps to Ventus.
No, even worse. Fucking jumps to
Vanitas?
Goofy.
No. How dare you? My man? You gonna play my man like that? You gonna play my man Goofy?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Roll 2d6. You want to avoid low numbers, and you want to avoid high numbers.
You know what? I'm busting out the physical device for this.
I trust you.
2d6.
Yep.
Avoid high, avoid low.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me roll both extremes at once. Four and five.
So you stayed middle of the road. You're doing okay. There's definitely you're not doing great. But there's a what is your username for command board?
Goof troop.
God.
Goof troop, I
Oof.
love it.
So I have to ask now, is Aster playing?
Are you asking if Aster escaped to a room on the lower level to say he's getting snacks for his animals, but is actually just playing command board? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What's his username and would Tsubasa recognize it?
No, he's never told you he plays command board.
Yeah. What's the username then?
Ventus Vanitas, but one of the letters are switched around.
Oh my god.
I hate it. I hate it. Why do I feel just despite Aster, there is also Arthur playing it?
Because fucking Aster over here is Ventus Vanitas, motherfucker?
It's Vantis Venitas.
It's, it's someone's going to fucking get your ass and
Who is this motherfucker? This is a perfect recreation of the first time I saw me use gamer tag in Destiny.
Oh my god, yes.
What was it, fucking
Listen,
Svarog smelly feet or some bullshit?
No, it's Savathun's mommy thighs or something like that.
no,
Oh,
no.
No, I have to hear this. What is Arthur's tag?
you know what you must do. Don't hesitate.
Raigeki him, it's okay.
Hey!
The fuck would be Raigeki?
No, Arthur's gamer username in the game is something absolutely ridiculous.
They cannot be found out. They have to change it up every so often.
You know what? You know what it is?
What?
It's it's just so stupid. It's Sora but with a bunch of X's and O's. No, X's and zeros. Sorry.
And Tsubasa's the only one not playing, just leaning over Lance's shoulders, just like, you're getting your ass kicked.
Who the fuck are these people?
Roll 2d6 again, Lance.
All right. Middle of the road. A 1 and a 6. I told you I'd roll these at some point.
You managed to get briefly ahead of Sora, the username for Sora, and then immediately you're passed up again. You literally have the euphoria of, yes, I got ahead. No.
Tsubasa watching this is just, hey, can I roll for you once? Just once.
Go right ahead.
What do I?
2d6.
2d6?
Mm-hmm.
A 5 and a 4.
You collect a lot of money, but you lose a lot of money.
Oh no.
Whoops.
All of a sudden, there's just one person ahead of you constantly.
You gotta lose money to make. Or wait, what?
I think we just
Nope.
lost money.
You gotta lose money to make money.
I think we just lost money, Lance.
So then we're going to make money in the future.
Sure, why not?
Roll 2d6 again for me.
Which one of us? Is Lance
Lance.
going to let Tsubasa do it again?
Why don't we both roll 1d6?
Go ahead.
All right. Ooh,
Oh.
1.
Oof, I got a 6.
I love hearing the cackling coming from the other room.
At literally last second, you managed to pull ahead and get second place out from underneath Vantus Vanitas.
I could hear the hesitation.
We all could hear the hesitation.
I don't want to talk about it, dog. Alright.
Before it
Clearly.
does that.
What does Aster do?
Oh, he does nothing. He just goes GG. Meanwhile, he's
Does-
surrounded by his heartless buddies that are just saying the meanest fucking things. Like full COD lobby.
I'm sorry, you guys actually just killed Rin with that. I heard the biggest cackle from them. And they're still going too. I can still hear them. I can still hear you.
Aster, GG, good game. Meanwhile, Zippy from behind him, your mother should have hit the press B button when you were evolving.
Oh my god.
You know, that's actually surprisingly tame for like a COD lobby type stuff.
Oh
You
yeah,
This is
can't
being
say what-
recorded.
we're not going to go into the full racism and sexism here, okay?
Leave that for Missy.
We have standards.
Do
I was
we?
expecting.
Anyway,
Yes.
I think we do.
you managed to get second place in a casual tournament game. And Sora with a bunch of X's and zeros is in first.
I mean, it's not bad for your first time, I guess.
Does Lance actively say, "Thanks, this is my first time playing"?
Yes.
I have the feeling the response is, "We know."
What?
One more time?
I have a feeling that the response is literally from both of them being, "We know," at the at the "This is my first time playing."
We know. Like it's not even a thing on the. I think it'd be funnier if it's not typed in chat. It just comes from two different rooms. We know.
Wait.
I think you just got beat by our own dorm mates.
That means I'm roughly on the same skill level.
Okay, I guess. Does this even count as skill? This is just a game where you're rolling dice.
Same luck level, then.
That's not how that works.
It may not be, but it's how it works in my heart.
That doesn't change how it actually works, Lance.
Let me be a little bit delusional for a little bit.
And he just reaches up
No.
and gently bonks the side of Lance's head.
Ah,
Does anybody want to do anything?
I will say we are
Yes.
sitting at about 2.5 hours.
I want to do one thing.
All right.
He's going to send a mass text to the group, to the entire dorm. The fuck are we doing for Christmas?
This is 6 months after after the stuff. I think Christmas has already passed.
Yeah, it's like April.
Yeah.
what are
But
we
he
doing
changes
for?
request.
Okay. Yeah, no, Tsubasa just stares at the message for a moment before he sends text back. It's just like, Aster, it's still a while out from Christmas. Still a while
Tsubasa.
out from Yuletide.
Tsubasa. Our lives are as fucking calm as a tsunami. We need to plan in advance. We are not having the last minute Aster and Arthur run to go get a fucking bakery cake. No. Denied. Not happening.
Not again.
It becomes that hard.
We're banned from that specific bakery because apparently one of us, Your Majesty, pulled a die hard while I was busy paying.
Is that what happened when we sent you for the cake?
No.
That answer was way too fast.
But it was appropriate. No, it was not.
Is this in the dorm chat or is it in the group chat?
Dorm chat.
Okay.
Oh, Lex doesn't get to see the fucking insanity.
He knows about it.
He already would have gotten a text from someone that's just like, so yeah, a couple of us managed to get banned from a bakery today.
Was it Arthur? Yes. He's still typing. How the fuck?
No. It would be literally just okay. From like it feels the very like energy of someone's in the middle of something, got a text, and it's just like, okay, and I'll look at it later, kinda okay.
Later. Okay, what do they actually say? How the fuck do you die hard a bakery?
That's what Tsubasa also wants to know.
Meanwhile, Lance, forget Christmas. What are we doing for Easter?
Didn't Easter already just pass as well?
Next Easter.
It's a year! Fucking everyone hears this from Lance's room just all of a sudden, it's a year!
Lance is doing God's work.
Like,
Fucking hell.
What is the next follow-up in the group chat? What is our next big, like, thing we have to do?
Halloween?
Aren't some of y'all's graduations coming up soon?
Oh, that's right. Some of us are graduating.
Nope, definitely not.
Uh-huh. I am about 90% sure the only people not graduating in this dorm room right now are me and Arthur.
You guys are getting held back?
We're a year behind you guys!
All right.
Did you forget that I was a first year when we met?
To be fair, I'm a special case. I was dropped in at whatever year, so I tend to forget.
Okay, fair.
How do you just get... How did...
Privilege, and my auntie owns the school.
Okay.
Miss Juliet doesn't own the school, she runs the school. There's a difference.
Wait, so who do you think
Yeah,
owns
but my
the
other
school?
auntie, Gwen, she owns the school.
Right, I forgot. You've got a lot of aunties. I've got a lot of aunties, though, so I can't really say much.
Speaking of, I actually gotta do. Hey, I got something from her. If you guys want to do it, it's a request.
Oh, what is it?
The prolonged silence, and then the very distant. You're not gonna believe me.
Give it a shot anyway.
You won't know until you try.
We have to. It involves someone in the past. And dear DM,
Mm-hmm.
Aster is officially going to let the group know about that side quest he got way, way back.
Oh, good. The one about Gwen trying to contact her beloved? Yeah.
Yeah, the one I definitely didn't forget about for a while and just remembered recently.
Of
No.
course not.
Oh.
Look. The kids have been dealing with a lot of shit. It's fair that it would get forgotten.
But yeah, no, he's basically gonna say it involves from the past. I think it's their boyfriend, but not the boyfriend we all know, the other boyfriend.
Who?
The British one.
Grandmaster Gwen? Are you talking about Grandmaster Gwen?
Yes.
Okay. Alright,
How
this
difficult could it be?
can't be any more difficult than anything else we had been trying to do, I guess. Except, we don't know how to contact people in the past. Or dead people.
Technically, well, no.
No, say it. Don't be a coward.
Technically, with like a stream delay, you can talk to people in the past.
And that's where we're cut to something else.
Just the slow turn from Tsubasa is just, I'm about to get you.
We cut to a good few months ago during the winter, during Lex's last mission towards the end. And we see, at least the audience does, we see Lex dressed up and dolled up in his, I guess, not Sunday best, but close enough, sitting at a table with Simon and Viv and Gray and another woman who you guys only met a couple of times, Miss Veronica. And they're all talking, though Lex is silent. And after a short period of time of eating and laughing and having a grand time, Miss Veronica stops talking and just stares in a certain direction before snapping at her son, going, Simon.
Hmm?
Tilts her head towards Lex.
Hmm.
And Simon sees that Simon sees this kid. He's just a kid, even though he is 18 now. And he sees tears streaming down his face. But he's silent.
You good, youngin'?
Huh? Just looks up as if he hasn't been paying attention.
Simon, with a cheek full of food, kind of taps under his eye to motion to Lex what's going on.
He reaches up and wipes away his tears. He goes, Sorry. Sorry.
What?
I'm messing up the good atmosphere. Sorry, I'll step out. And he goes to stand up.
You stand up, I'll sit you down. You stay where you are.
He looks confused for a moment, but hesitantly sits back down.
Good boy. Talk.
I've never felt safe like this before.
You're used to it.
gonna be a work in progress. And that's what we're in tonight's session.
Is that time to stop the recording?